There's a little bit more to the title than just that, but first I need to digress for a moment. I want to tell you something that happened, I would say, to me or with me. I was a part of it. Happened about a week ago. It was at a funeral service. It wasn't actually at the service. It was after the service in the, I don't know what we call that time where you kind of get together and share a little tea, and coffee, and what did somebody say? Repass maybe. And you're visiting with the family. And I was doing that. I was visiting with the family because the person who just died was a pretty close friend. I was a close friend with him and his wife and his family, more so his kids in particular, closer to my age. He was in his early 90s, and his wife had preceded him in death by about 10 months. He was highly respected, certainly by me and by, he was a member of our church. He was highly respected by most everyone, I think. He and his wife and his whole family. So I was partaking, talking to some of the family that I knew best. And after a little while, then I noticed another part of the family I didn't know very well because this was a daughter and son-in-law who lived a little further away up toward the north. So I didn't see them very often. But I saw them, and when I'd seen them before on rare occasions, he seemed like a pretty friendly guy. He was outgoing, he would joke a lot, he was kind of boisterous. Like I figured he lives on a farm, so he's boisterous and laughs a lot. I thought, pretty neat guy. So I went and said hi to him, exchanged a couple of sentences. Then, after a kind of short time, he made a comment. He says, you know, my mother-in-law, who was the one that had died 10 months earlier, you know, she wasn't what everybody thought she was. I thought, what kind of joke? I'm not getting this. I gotta wait for the punchline. There was no punchline. He went on to say, my poor father-in-law, she controlled him with an iron, rod or something. He couldn't do anything without her okay. She was a complainer. And the same with their other kids would be his brother-in-law and sister-in-law. And that's the ones I knew pretty close. Well, they got away with murder. He should have been fired from his job, but they stuck up for him. They did stick up for him, and he deserved to be stuck up for it. So I thought, whoa, what? And all the time he's talking with me, we're having a conversation. The conversation was only about 30 seconds. From there, I was listening, and not actually listening because I was here and he was there, and I was trying to back up, and he was still right there, and loud, so that if there's 100 people here, people back there can hear what he was saying, and I'm thinking, oh, man. So I'm just looking for a way to get out of there. It took me maybe 10 minutes, seemed like an hour and a half, but I finally got away. I thought, well, maybe I did a good deed here. Maybe he just sort of, I don't know, identified with me, thought I was friendly, maybe a good listener. So he was just sharing this with me. And maybe I helped here because I avoided having everybody else have to deal with this. And found out later, just one of many. He did the same thing to everybody. Now, let's go a little further. The full title of my speech connects to this a little bit. Full title is, it's our choice whether we forgive or not. And my first point deals with our choice. It's our choice because God gave us a free will. So I can choose whether I want to forgive somebody or not. George, that's the fellow's name that I was talking to, fictitious name. George can choose too. So far, he's made the wrong choice, I believe. Another part of choosing is that it is a choice Because if you don't make it a choice and you just say, well, yeah, I probably should, and I'll get around to it. I'll wait. You know, I don't feel like it right now. It's only been 15 years. I'm just going to wait a little longer. Then I'll get to it. If you don't make the choice first, it's not going to happen. If you do make the choice first, then hopefully the feelings of actually being forgiven will follow. Second point, don't quit. It's not easy. Well, some things are a little easier. You know, if you got a family over, relatives over, a grandkids, a small child, spills milk on the floor. Oh, no big deal. Don't worry about it. Gosh, don't scold him. Gee whiz, it was an accident. He didn't mean to. Maybe he actually kicked us or something. If he's a guest, then it's easy to forgive him. However, another thing that's not too hard is if somebody's up here, like me, you know, I might say one or two I's, and as long as that's the limit, you can forgive me pretty easy. But somebody else is, I don't know who would do this, Jerry might go just a teeny bit over the length of the speech. That's easy to forgive, because he wouldn't go more than 15 seconds or so. So, don't quit. It can get harder. It can get harder if you are facing somebody like George. Especially, it can get quite hard if you're facing more often. Like if I was actually a relative of his, as the other family members there were, and I had to deal with that every day, and I was the subject of his unforgiveness, that would be very hard for me to forgive him. And if something even harder than that came along, such as I or any of us have, and as I'm saying this, I don't know what everybody else has dealt with here. So maybe you dealt with a lot more than I know of, and certainly more than I can handle. But if a child or a spouse was wrongfully killed by maybe a drunk driver, that would be very hard to forgive. But my third point is it's important, though, to forgive, even though it's hard. It's important because God did say to us, forgive one another as I have forgiven you. Don't. He said that, but you know, did he really mean that? I mean, God's all powerful. I mean, he can do anything. It's easy for him to forgive. Does he really know how it is? I think maybe he does. But I also think that I can say that I know I need to forgive. And that's up here. Whether I can handle it down here might be a little tougher. Couldn't do it without God's help, I know that. So, in conclusion, let's make the right choice to forgive, and I haven't had to make any real hard choices yet, I don't think. For others that have, I would like to be able to be an encouragement to them. And I think that I'd like to encourage others to not quit. I'd like to have them, you guys, whoever, encourage me in the same way. And then remind each other